welcome back to the Scrapyard. I'm your host, Fire Kickin. What's going on, everybody? Fire Chicken here with my assistant, Naughty Nate.
What's up, guys?
Shit, man, this is like episode number, I don't know, 107 or 108.
Something like that.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Doing this for a minute. Glad to have you on the show tonight. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, man, what an event. This show is going to be focused around what happened at the anniversary event and maybe even some stuff that happened after the anniversary event.
Maybe.
So let me ask you about, what you thought of the whole event.
Man, the event itself was amazing, bro. It's something like I've never been to before, honestly. I've been to a few amateur matches, but this event was huge. We had celebrities there. We had close to 50 matches. We had like 47 matches, something like that. It was amazing. A lot of competitive matches. I think we had somewhere in the neighborhood of like 6 or 7 title matches, 2 female matches. I mean, it was a 12-hour event. So it was all day long. Real quick, huge shout out to Chiseled Adonis, man, for doing over 11 hours of commentary. Like, it's tough to talk for just this hour. And this guy was on there doing 11 hours of nonstop, like, exciting. There wasn't a dumb or dull moment with him. I don't know how he's able to keep things interesting for that amount of time, but he did fantastic. So big shout out to him. Shout out to all the competitors that showed up. You guys did amazing. Real quick, also, I apologize to some of the competitors or some of the matchmaking mishaps. Wasn't really mishaps. We just had some people that left a little early, so we had to match some people at the event. And when we had so many people already pre-matched, things get hectic, guys. But I think overall the event went really smooth. Big shout out again to the staff. The medical staff was on point. They took care of the competitors really well. Coach P and Ron, a Viking Warrior too. You guys reffing in there, guys. That right there was an exercise all day. So big shout outs to them.
Security, we had a couple guys with security.
Yep.
Check-in station LB3.
Mm-hmm.
He brought his couple people to help with the check-in, and the waiver signing at the table. People helping with gloves, cleaning them up.
Man.
I mean, everybody came through. And a couple other shout outs. I want to shout out Fred Bayer. He came out with Zach Ray, a couple YouTubers. They've got pretty decent sized channels. Shout out to Mighty Mouse.
Man, meeting the legend himself. I can't imagine. And maybe some of you guys in the comments might want to mention this, but what was your experience like meeting him? I mean, it was like a dream come true for me personally. I know you got to train with him previous to that. We may get into that. We may get into that, guys. Yeah,
I'd like to talk about that.
Yeah, big time jealous, bro. I got to shake his hand and felt like, I absorbed some knowledge or some power, but you got to get punched in the face. So I know you got some knowledge from him.
Yeah,
so that's awesome.
The whole prior day of the fights was, for one, I really want to be on top of things, so I set the entire event up like a few days before the event. I got a call from Mighty Mouse. He called me and said, "Hey, we want to come out on Friday and do like a training session where we're going to film it and everything." I was like, "Yes."
Yeah, right. How did you get my number? Is this really you?
He texted me and then he's like, "Hey, can I call you?" I'm like, "Sure, you can call me."
Shaky hands. Hello.
It's crazy. He's exactly the same person in person that you see online. Like there's no fake. It is Demetrius Johnson in live. I mean, he's the same person. And I really respect that down to earth, that humble, and he just seems like a really awesome guy.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you brought that up too, because sometimes you know how they have that saying, never meet your heroes. And a lot of that's because like how they present themselves online or through TV isn't necessarily who they are. And you know, after meeting Mighty Mouse and speaking with him, and you know, he's such a humble guy, and he's so like his knowledge is there, and he's always willing to help. Like he was giving guys at the event little tips, encouragement, helping dudes out. Like to me, that made me even more of a fan of who he is because I mean, he's a 15-time champion, bro.
Yeah.
He's down there with guys that are, you know, that are be considered new in this game. And
I would say that he is the greatest mixed martial artist of all time. I mean,
I would say so. Yeah, arguably,
yes. I mean, if there's a Mount Rushmore and if you ask anybody what the Mount Rushmore is that really knows MMA, if they don't say Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson to put on their Mount Rushmore, they are not a real fan. Yeah, I get there's a couple arguments they can make with some other people, but I mean, for me personally, it's Mighty Mouse, GSP, Anderson Silva, and John Jones.
Solid Mount Rushmore too.
Yeah, and people might swap in one or two of those, but I think that Mighty Mouse is one that you can't really argue with that.
Yeah, shout out to Zach Cray. Look at that, over 10 million views across everything. Man,
wow.
That's
you know what that makes me really happy that everybody that was wanting a part of this whole thing, right? They were able to get something out of it. I wanted everybody to prosper. I wanted people to have good fights. I wanted people to get attention. I wanted people to be on camera. And I really tried to set the stage up for exposure for the fighters, and for people like Zach with their own channels. That this is I've been watching Demetrius Johnson's video. I've been watching our video.
Yeah, I've been watching those too, man.
Everybody on the internet is stealing all of our stuff. That means something.
Yeah, it does. So much attention from these from that event. You know, the training arc that Demetrius did, Mighty Mouse did. Where are they at right now? I think the training arc is over 800,000 views right now.
And you know what? It's gonna pass up ours. It will. I'm sure. The production that was put into that, the level of detail. I mean, it's a beautiful piece of cinematic footage.
Creativity. It was amazing.
I mean, it shows things that I know. It shows sporting goods stores I've been to, the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. It shows my place. It shows all these fighters that I know. And it just hits like, I mean, it's just so well put together. And then
it's a
Zach,
bit surreal, man.
I gotta say, like Zach too, like his video, he is a hell of an editor. It was funny. It caught a lot of stuff that we didn't catch, and there was some trolling going on.
Zach's definitely a pro at that trolling, man.
Yeah,
big shout out to Zach. You do a wonderful job.
Out to Zach.
Over 500,000 in views on his video that he made. So definitely a ton of attention, like you're saying, bro. So beautiful. Because the training arc's doing so well, I think the match itself, the actual match between Death Sentence versus Zach Cray, that's over 900,000 in views. So that's creeping up on 1 million in views just on the match, man.
I busted that shit out like the night of the fights.
Oh yeah.
Well, I thought Mighty Mouse was putting his out the next day. So I'm like, oh man, I got to get up there. I still spent I did what I wanted to the video, you know, like I wanted to put like this in there, that in there, whatever. I wanted to capture certain things. Soul, that is a good question, and I will get to that. Chef, thank you for the super chat. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Chef. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah, I'll leave that up there. Brick House, the event was rejuvenating for me. Brick House, we miss the shit out of you. I want to
It's
see you
great
back.
seeing you back, bro.
And I am really sorry the photographer didn't get pictures of you. Like, he needed a break. I am different. I went the whole day without a break. The only break that I took was when I took a break to eat a burrito, and Zach, or I'm sorry, Fred and Wing C did their big glove match. Only break I took. And I paid for it, just being wrecked the next day.
Definitely.
But I jumped up right after the event, hanging out for a little bit. Ginger Ninja, shout out to him. He gave me a bottle of horchata rum. I like that stuff.
There we go. There we go.
Sat around, had a horchata rum, and talked to some people, and then went in. And I wasn't planning on getting right on editing that video, but I did. And man, the community. Like, I get there was some bickering and stuff. I'm not even mad at any of that. Fighters are gonna.
That's gonna happen.
Fighters are gonna bump heads. Like, I'm not trying to prevent fighters from like having that, that beef. It happens, right?
Yeah, we know. You guys are fighters. We know. Right. We understand that. We get it.
I mean, but with the organization, with the event, with the scrapyard, I ask people conduct themselves in a certain way. And I got to say, like, I'm really, really happy with the community of fighters in the Facebook group. For one, the majority of people are just awesome human beings that show respect. This isn't the amateurs. This isn't the pros. You don't gotta like get in fights with everybody to try to like sell your fight. It'll do as good as it does online. And
that's true. And there's one thing, like I said, there's hyping a match, and then there's being disrespectful, guys. And learn the difference. Okay, there's nothing wrong with you guys going out there and hyping your match, and some friendly bickering back and forth. But when you guys start getting real personal and you're trying to like be unnecessary about it, it kind of puts a damper on the event itself, because part of what we do over at the scrapyard, we beat you up, but we also are there to build people up. Like Fire Chicken was saying, man, these matches are meant to give you experience, and try to like give you some notoriety as well. But overall, it's to give you experience, and we want that experience to be positive. We want it to be a community where you can go to and you can find support. You can find training partners. You can find gyms or coaches or friends. Like-minded individuals that share a passion for what you share a passion for. And, like we understand, in groups, in large groups, you're going to have some bickering. You're going to have some backboard. Not everybody's going to rub everybody the right way. But having said that too, as a whole, respect the community for what it is. That's all that's asked. And I don't think that that's a big ask for what you get out of it.
Just in civilized society, you have to follow certain rules just to be able to do your daily life. You can't do 120 miles an hour on the freeway. You can't run people over. There's certain things, and our group's no different. Well, you probably don't want to do those things in our group, but just basic respect. It's really not a lot to ask. And really, the people that we've lost, they don't really deserve to be around anyway, just because they show their lack of respect towards other people. And
there's reasons why they're gone.
There's reasons, right? Yeah,
they got themselves kicked out, guys, and that's I still want the best for a lot of them, and stuff like that. It's just, again, sometimes you got to do what's best for the community.
And I feel I feel empathy for some of them, because I know, like, well, maybe they're going through this or that or whatever, but I do try to give chances again. I do try to talk to people. I don't really legitimately hate any of them. But I don't know. Guys. Yeah. I just, couple like people recently have just kind of gone off the rails on me. It's crazy. And I don't know if it's just because we got so much hype building because of this event, because we had such a successful event that Mighty Mouse.
I feel like that's part of it. I honestly do. Because just like, yin and yang, right? There's always going to be a little bit of like darkness in the positive. And I
Yes.
feel like jealousy is definitely there. And that's what I feel like a lot of the hate is, guys. I feel like it's jealousy of the success that is happening. And you guys want to be a part of it. But instead of doing what's right to be a part of it, sometimes people just want to take it over, or they feel entitled to something. And again, guys, we're here to help everybody, build each other up. So it's not one person above the group.
Right.
And
We want to elevate. And that's why there's certain rules in place, like with the Facebook group. You're not supposed to bring people down. You're not supposed to hate on people because of their training videos, stuff like that. Like, we don't want to discourage people of getting training and going to gyms and getting better. Everyone's at different levels. Everyone starts their martial arts journey out at a different time. There was a time when I was complete ass I still might be, but
I still am too, bro.
But you have to have that mentality, right?
Yes.
To grow. That's the
it.
thing, is you gotta have that mentality. Like, when I sparred Mighty Mouse, we just did like a light spar. I don't got an ego when it comes to sparring. I'm not trying to like, oh, I'm gonna get one over on the goat, No, I took it as like, I'm gonna take this experience and I'm just gonna, it was really technical, slower pace sparring, and it was fun. And I would absolutely love to do it again. And I think that Mighty, having the conversations he was having with the two other fighters, knowing that I've been around for a while in the fight game and that I understand when you go into a gym, you don't try to like assert your dominance. You don't try to be like, I'm going to go fight the owner of the gym and show all his students that I'm better.
It's horrible etiquette. Yeah.
It's horrible etiquette. Yeah.
Yes.
When the goat wants to spar with you, you do what he wants to do. I'm not trying to get clips out of like, oh, I'm going to land this punch on him or I'm going to do this. It's like, no, I'm going to use this as a learning experience. I want to see what I can learn from him.
Yeah, you don't want to turn into a lesson. I mean, shout out to Wing C, but we saw what happens when you start to press the goat a little too much. You might throw that head kick up there, and
I think he wanted that.
I know he wanted that, but that's a perfect example of that. You think you want it, and for Wing C, for who he is, I'm sure he did want it, and that's exactly what he wanted out of that. Yep. But also, if you watch, the Mighty Mouse, what he was talking about, he didn't want to have to go and do that, and that's part of the thing too. As someone at a higher level, I mean, I'm not claiming to be a pro or at a high level, but I am a coach at a gym, and we do get people that are novice that come through the door, and you do have to kind of. I always spend the first day with them because I want to get their mentality. I want to see where they're at. And some people, they're not trying to necessarily hurt you. They just need that kind of training phase where you teach them how to slow things down and get controlled. But some people have a mentality where they got one speed and they don't care. And they're in there to try to hurt you. And you have to really tone those individuals down for safety reasons too. And if you are one of those individuals, understand this, guys, it's going to be hard for you to gain training partners. Not too many people want to just show up and fight every day at the gym. They want to train correctly.
I know that when I first started my martial arts journey, we did a lot of jiu-jitsu and I would roll with people, and I was, big into weights. I've gotten recently back into it and everything, but I was kind of a gym bully, and I was just aggressive on how I would roll, partially because I'm still technically a white belt. I've never belted in jiu-jitsu.
Plus, you came from a wrestling background. Wrestlers are like that.
I did.
I thought you did. I thought you wrestled.
Nope, I didn't.
Oh, wow.
Everything I learned was shout to Chef. Wow, thank you for the super chat, bro. No, man, I started out with like learning jiu-jitsu. It's just that I was, 20 years old. I'm strong. I can overpower people. Now, I don't really have to try to overpower people as much. I will, maybe because I know more technique.
Yeah,
and
technique.
I'm not putting myself at any level because I would never claim to be a belt or anything that I'm not. I try to remain humble because, well, for one, I don't like to get humbled. I don't like to be like, saying a bunch of shit to people, and then it's like, Yeah, I just don't. I've never been about that shit talking that world, but
That's why I hold the claim of forever a white belt, bro. That you can, even if you beat me, it's okay. I'm still a white belt. So there
yeah,
you
yeah,
go.
I'm.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Mhm.
But yeah, I completely forgot where I was going with that. But you know what?
So, tone it down in the training, guys. That's all we're saying. Okay.
Tone it
Train
down a little
safely,
bit. Yeah,
train smart in the
I would
group.
say
Again, build people up.
if you ever spar with Nate, he's going to show you what technical sparring is. And the funny thing is, when Mighty Mouse was explaining this to the fighters, these two fighters, it's funny because he said technical sparring, and when before he said it, I started to say it. We said it at the exact same time. We said technical sparring, and
Mhm.
I think he kind of realized, like, okay, I've been around the game long enough. I'm not trying to get notoriety by beating people up. I
Mhm.
just want to experience. I want to gain knowledge. And it's kind of funny because we were in the ring and I had my gear on because I was actually going to spar with Wing C.
Uh-huh.
But Mighty Mouse kind of looks at me and he starts throwing punches at me. I'm like, oh, really? You know,
Thank
and
you,
so
sir.
I start
Yeah.
going like, and I had my shin guards on and stuff
Oh
too. And
man.
it was just such a nice, slow paced,
Yeah.
like, calf kick, front kick,
What
jab,
an
cross, head
experience,
kick.
bro.
We're just throwing this stuff at each other.
Yeah.
And no one's trying to like hurt each other. It's just so flow
Mhm.
based, technical that you get to really see like how aware he is of his surroundings. And he would see like he would see something, and it's amazing how he would do this. He would notice like, okay, what he would do is he'd come in, he'd be sparring, and then he would grab, right? And I would push away. And because I don't want to get in a tie clinch with him. I don't want him to put me on my ass, right?
Mhm.
So when I got tired, I grabbed. And he probably realized like, why is he
Oh,
grabbing
yeah.
when he didn't want to grab before? So he would push me away and then he would pressure me. He would not give me what I wanted.
Mhm.
And then he would just take advantage of like, what he could get. And it showed me just the level of consciousness that this guy has of what's going on during a sparring or a fight or
Yeah.
whatever.
And that's
And
like the top level too, man. I mean, it's
that's
amazing.
that's the top level.
Yeah,
That's
that's as
goat.
high as it gets. And you got to experience that. Let me ask you a quick question. When you first started doing the street beef scrap or the scrapyard now, which we can get into the name change here in a bit, but the scrapyard now, when you first started doing this and going down this route, did you ever imagine that one day you'd be sparring in your own cage with arguably, like I said, the greatest that's ever done MMA? I mean, that is quite the level of success that you've gained getting there.
It
It seems so it's surreal to me, bro.
is
And I
surreal.
got to even meet him at the event, so I can only imagine what it would be like for you having to actually get to train with the guy.
So for one, I've been a fan of Mighty Mouse for a long time. I saw him fight in 2008 while he was still an amateur at Tumwater High School. I was there supporting a friend who was in the ring that night fighting. Mighty Mouse fought. Now I didn't know who he was or anything.
Mhm.
I just remember. I just remember him for some reason. I remember that fight. I even brought this up to him. I man, when I saw him in person, I told him all this. I'm like, man, I saw you fight back in 2008, and people were booing you because you were fighting a younger guy, and it's so hard to find 120, 25-pound
Yeah.
opponents and all this stuff. And at the time, I just thought it was so lame that people were booing this guy that, he takes a fight, he wins the fight. You guys are gonna boo him for that? Like it's his,
Right. Wow.
yeah,
Like he did something wrong for winning.
right.
Get out of here.
So I told Mighty Mouse, the same thing. Like, but it kind of stuck with me. And I didn't even really fully realize that was him until kind of getting closer to the event where I was like, I think that was him. So I researched it and I found out. I looked right on his Wikipedia, like Tumwater High School. Yes, it was him. Okay. My story is correct. But like what you said though, it's so surreal having him come out here to the yard, being a fan so long.
And then hearing that he's a fan too. I mean, that's kind of crazy that he's a fan of your work as well. Like,
well, you know
wow.
what though? I didn't even realize this. I recorded the whole training session with Mighty Mouse and all the guys, right? Now I told him ahead of time. I'm trying to like get footage of him without him knowing. I told him, said, "Hey, are you okay with me filming this?" He's like, "Yes." Well, he was over by the commentary booth talking a lot about me and my story. And it kind of, I didn't even hear that until today. Like when I was going through my footage, cool. I posted that footage and stuff without even like listening to it. But he knew all about like my journey, me going to Virginia, me starting Street Beefs, me being a welder, working at the shipyard. Like, wow, that's just really, that's really like, what's the word I'm looking for? When you care about like what someone else, it's really humble. It's really,
yeah, I mean, he's taking an interest in you. Like I said, he's a fan of what you're doing.
Yeah, it is.
And to me, to have a fan of somebody that you're a fan of, it's crazy. But again, that's kind of the level of which the scrapyard has gotten to now, is that you are getting the notoriety of these high level competitors, people that have been doing martial arts their whole lives, that have been in this game for a long time. Like, they're taking notice and they're showing up to the yard. I mean, and the fact that was provided for all the competitors there. I mean, we had, like I said, 47, 48 matches. So that's close to 100 competitors.
46 in a sparring match.
46 in a sparring. There we go. So at least 100 competitors at the event.
Yes.
All of which got to meet, the legend, bro.
Imagine that though. You show up to a backyard fight expecting to do a match, and Mighty Mouse is there.
Yeah. And not only Mighty Mouse, but Zach Cray, Chisel the Donist, Death Sentence, Fred Bayer. Like, you're seeing these influencers.
I'm not even going to dwell on the people that didn't show up, the celebrities that promised they would. That was a letdown. It really was. But
it's out of our control too.
It's out of our control. So and I'm just so appreciative of the fighters that showed up, the celebrities that did show up. And I just want to put it out there, like, we would love to work with other celebrities and other UFC fighters and that kind of thing in the future. I believe that mutual collaboration is beneficial to everybody. Let me go down my list really quick. I want to talk about some of the goods, really. In some of this we've already gone through, and I'm just going to skip over it, because I wrote things down ahead of time. But, some of the good stuff, I'm not even going to go over any of the bad stuff, because you know what? I don't really feel like dwelling on anything that's negative.
I don't either. It's over.
Yeah,
let's move on, guys. Yeah.
The good. We had a lot of fights.
Yes, we did.
They were great fights. The team came through. All of the team. The medical staff, the security, the check-in. I mean, I can't say it enough. You guys are part of keeping this whole thing running.
Both vendors. The food vendors.
Food vendors.
Thank you guys. Keeping everybody fed. Appreciate that.
Violin intros. Beethoven, if you're still watching, I saw you earlier. Thank you so much. Like, we've been trying to get you a match for years. It was great having you out. I would love to honestly get you another match, because those violin intros, I know I didn't really use.
They were so cool though.
I know I didn't use it for the death sentence video. However, I did. If you check out my second video, I put it out on my alternate channel. It has the violin intro for death sentence on there. But the one with Wing C, I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but I was really proud of like how that whole intro came together, jumping off, the slow motion, the violins playing. Like, that was a masterpiece of visuals. I just think.
I think
the violin just made it that much better.
She's super talented.
She is.
Yeah.
Yes. And the fact that people were like, were saying, is that Full Metal Alchemist? You know, like they knew what was playing. You know, I really dig that. Documentary. Okay, you know what? Our documentary crew was there. Something you guys may or may not know. Our documentary crew snatched up Mighty Mouse and took him inside the house and did like a 20-minute interview with him. So I am just so pumped about when this documentary comes out.
That was it, right?
This year.
That was the wrap up. They wrapped it all up with the event, right?
No.
Oh, they're going to film
got
a
to
little
do
bit
another
more?
interview with me.
Okay. All right.
And they're going to interview some celebrities too outside the scrapyard. Yeah, so awesome. I'm going to, you know what? Tomorrow's Monday. I'm going to talk to Generation Iron, kind of see where we're at. But he said guaranteed this year. It's
coming soon, guys. Update coming soon.
Date is going to come soon. And mark my words, people, we're going to do a premiere in a movie theater. And I encourage everybody to make the trip, come out here. We could do shit, dude. We could do like a training session too. Like, I don't know. We can go out after. We can just be part of a community. That's
make it like a whole event and a whole day thing, guys. Come out, get some training in. Afterwards, we go check out the whole documentary at a movie theater or wherever, and then maybe get some dinner afterwards. I mean,
something like that. Yep, we've gone on
an event.
we've gone out to dinner after fights before. You know, it's a nice way of bringing everybody together. Lastly, for my good is the HKA gloves. You know, shout to HKA. We can throw that promo code up. It's SBSY20, SBSY20. So if you want 20% off your purchases on HKA USA, maybe you want a custom pair of gloves. Maybe you want your face on some gloves. 20% off, people.
Yeah, guys, get it. Yeah, and everything there, like I said, it helps. They help support the scrapyard, so go and help support them, guys. Like I said, this is what we're all about, helping build each other up, and they're a sponsor, so step in, help build them up as well, guys. Be great.
I guess one thing we can talk about really quick, and you brought it up earlier, is the name change.
The name change, yeah. You might want to go over that real quick while we have the people on. I know that's really recent. It kind of was, I mean, on my end, I don't know all the behind the scenes stuff like you do, but it was really sudden. You know, I saw something on Facebook from Scarface. Yeah. He mentioned it, and then he said more information coming out in a couple days. I know it was in the fighter chat that we had. Everybody was like, "What's going on? What's going on?" So yeah, go ahead and clear the air with the name change. What's going on?
Yeah, all right. I think a lot of people might be overthinking this whole thing. For one, I'm putting it out there. It's no fallout with Street Beefs. We are still 100% in the same position and the same relationship that we were before with Street Beefs. The name change is a completely 100% legal thing. There were some, Scarface made a video about it the other day. I posted it in our group. If you want, you can check the video out. It's basically something that had to be done with us. But for one, you're still a Street Beefs fighter. Your record still transfers over if you go fight in a different branch of Street Beefs. We're still all affiliated, guys. You know, we don't need to make a big deal about it. We've always, Street Beef Scrapyard, the Scrapyard, it's really not that much different, guys.
It's basically a legal formality.
Legal formality, yeah.
All right.
I don't want to talk too much about all of that stuff because it's not my place to do. I'm just reassuring everybody that, guys, don't think of it as anything too negative. We're still all in this together. That's about it for the most part.
Well, it's good to know that we're still, like I said, we're still an affiliate. We're still a part of the Street Beefs family. And it's really nice to know that it's not a fallout due to any kind of like animosity or any kind of like bad blood. Like these things happen, you know, guys. We know politics, right? Shit happens. So we're moving forward and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. So
yeah, you know what?
glad we got
Street
that cleared
Beast is
up.
moving up. Street Beast Scarface has a lot of great things going on his side of the country, opportunities and all that. They're gonna benefit everybody in the Street Beast family.
Mhm.
We've got a lot of things. We're growing at a really rapid pace. I'm really proud of what we've created out here and everybody in the chat and watching that's part of it. So we've really made some great relationships, and 5 years, but I don't want it to just be 5 more years. I want it to be forever.
Lineage. I love it. Hell yeah, man. And like I said, it has been 5 years, but it's just been 5 years. There's gonna be
Yep.
many more years to come, guys. And because there's such a longevity in this future, I mean, who knows what's to come? I mean, what celebrities are going to show up at the yard? What influencers we're going to get at the yard? Not to mention what new talent we're going to have coming through the yard. We had a lot of returning talent come back to the yard with 46, 47 matches. I mean, guys, I didn't see one dull match, honestly. Nobody gave up.
No.
Everybody fought their fight. I think because of the fact that we had Mighty Mouse there, because it was the anniversary event, also because everybody was training leading up to the event. We just had some dynamite matches, man.
Everyone wanted to put on a show, and you know what I'm going to do really quick? I'm just going to go through and I'm going to read off all the matchups from the first matchup to the last matchup. I'm just going to say who was versus who. So
yeah, go for
this is all of them. All right, QP versus Dad, Punisher versus the Peruvian Panther, Nate Dogg versus No Limit, Mr. Gilchrist versus Lights Out, OB versus Flex, Baylor BBC versus Austin Barnes, Bamson versus Train Tracks, Wing C versus the Chef, Chongo versus the Comedian. Then we had a raffle. Death Sentence versus Zach Ray, Masubi versus Brickhouse, Freakzilla versus Horizon the Alien, Joanna Wick versus Locke, Little Mac versus Coop Nasty, T-Don versus Golden Hands, D. Ellis versus the Jinja Ninja, Solo versus Matsu, Filthy Swole versus Bolo, Quantum versus Maximus, Wing C versus Fred, Soul versus Toad, Frankie Balboa versus the Crazy Mosquito, Ace versus Grandmaster Swan, Sanj versus Killatrix, Molly Wop versus Ignitus, Mr. Wilson versus Bustin' Nutting, Stewart versus Dada, Berserker versus Glock Dookie, Bulldog versus Bulldog versus Levictus. Yeah. Crazy Mosquito fought again versus Brock the Cock. Radio versus Magic K, Supreme White Cream versus Sudoku Keith, Adam Bomb versus Loco, Vince versus Braids, Ready Rob versus Elijah, Drummer Boy versus Roy, OG versus Lyle, Craig versus Clown Baby, Real Lion versus Destroyer.
Jeez. I know, man.
It's a lot.
So many, guys. I mean, like I said, I think we got over 11 hours on the memberships only. The live events, full event is posted already. You're going to have to get your memberships only to watch it still. So if you don't have it yet, guys, make sure you get it. Oh, over 11 hours worth of footage, 47 matches, 46, 47 matches. Like, come on, guys. Where are you going to get that for $4.99?
It's worth it just because. Shout out to Chef. Man, Chef, thank you. And you know what I want to do for you guys, since Chef just kind of brought this to my attention, I'm going to do a quick 5-person membership gift right now.
Ooh, okay. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm going to give away 5 memberships.
That's awesome.
Then I think we need to talk about maybe what some of our favorite matchups were.
Yeah, I think after these 5 memberships, you got to tell us your top 5 matches. I don't know if I can give 5, bro. Honestly,
well, let's talk to the people in the chat right now.
Yeah, let's see that.
What do you guys think? Tell me which fight was your favorite fight from the entire event, but you can't say your own fight.
Yeah.
Soul Sands versus Killatrix. Okay,
that was a really good one. Yeah, that was a really good one.
That was on my. Well, I don't want to get into it, but we'll just say that was definitely one of my favorites. Absolutely. All right, I'm gifting 5 now. People, look. I can't target anybody. I know people are like, pick me, but I can't do it. It's just not in my control. So I'm just gonna hit go. We'll see who gets a membership.
That's what's up. Couple of the notable matches that the chat's saying. We got Wingsy versus Chef. That was a really good match. Let's see here. We got Dad versus QP. Mr. Gilchrist versus Lights Out. That one was a chaotic match. It was a banger too. The Zach Cray versus Death Sentence. How did you feel about that Zach Cray versus Death Sentence match, man? Since it's out, we can kind of talk about it a little bit.
Let me just say congratulations, Lorena. I haven't even seen you say hi yet on the chat. Come on, man.
Come on, Lorena.
We miss you, bro.
Heck yeah,
Daywalker, Daniel, Mark Woodward, and LCG Millas. Yeah. Congratulations on your memberships. The death sentence fight. Okay. I told everybody well ahead of time. I did not know who was going to win that match. Mm-hmm. And I still, even today, like, I still couldn't have picked. I felt like it was a really, really fair, honest to fair matchup. And that's what I really try to do that out here at the Scrapyard. Mm-hmm. Our matchmakers really try to do that. We're not looking for views on knockouts or anything like that. We want fair matches. We want people to come back.
Yeah, and we're not trying to set anybody up either, guys. Nope. Like, especially guys traveling from the East Coast to come and join our community. We're not trying to set dudes up so they get, hurt out here. Like, come on, guys. We want to see a good, entertaining match. And I agree with you. I think that was a solid matchup, equal levels for sure. And, I was a bit surprised, to be honest, in that first, 10, 15 seconds of that match. That was one slick back take from Death Sentence, bro.
I wasn't surprised.
My goodness.
You know what?
I didn't get to see the match when it happened. So I had to go back and rewatch the match. So when that happened, I was like, he ended up, what? It was crazy, man.
All right. So a little context behind that. The day before, when we were at the training session with Mighty Mouse, that was one thing. They started training together. Death Sentence ran up on Mighty Mouse and jumped on his back. Like the same thing that he did in the fight.
Mm-hmm.
His problem was when he was working it with Mighty Mouse is that he just didn't have the lock in right.
Yeah, they mentioned that in the arc. Yeah.
I get that. If you aren't knowledgeable, if you don't have, a one stripe white belt, you're going to have some flaws in your technique, right?
100%.
The one that jumping on, having the hooks in, that was great. The problem was he had the choke in, right? Except he had the choke in more to the side. So he didn't have the pit of the elbow in the throat. Mm. The reason that you need the pit of the elbow in the throat is because the forearm and the bicep work as a pinch point on the sides of your neck. It's a blood choke. Okay. Mm. If you have it off to the side, it's more like an air choke or maybe a half blood choke. Mm. Yes, you're cutting off the blood on one side of the neck, but you don't have the bicep or the forearm on the other side cutting off the blood. So believe me, like when you're in a fight, adrenaline kicks in, you're just trying to crank this thing. Mm-hmm. But really all that needed to be adjusted was that the elbow needed to go under the chin, fit right behind the head, and sink it in. And it would have been a done deal.
Oh yeah. If he would have got his arms locked in there, I definitely think it would have been a done deal. I think Zach was a bit surprised by that too. He even mentioned that he was kind of he did a desperate maneuver by falling back like that. And, I've seen guys do that when somebody's taking their back from a standing and they got the hooks in, guys will kind of suplex backwards. But that right there is a high risk maneuver too, because sometimes you just land with the guy on your back and he still finishes the choke. So it definitely, it was a desperate move. It was a solid, slick move by Death Sentence. I think he tried to crank it a little too much. And then you can see once it didn't really pan out the way for him, he just lost all of his energy. He exerted too much.
Yeah.
And
can we not all agree, though, that Death Sentence showed some improvements in his jiu-jitsu.
Oh, I agree 100%. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Like I said, he's one stripe white belt now. And in a fight, things are chaotic. Things are happening at a faster pace. And really, when it comes to jujitsu, it's all about those little nuances, right? It's about like inches. And I think when at that fast pace like that, he just wasn't able to really sink shit in yet. But give him another 6 months, guys.
Yep.
And that speed or whatever isn't going to be a factor. And he has, I would say, death sentence for me. He has the body type to be a solid jiu-jitsu player.
Bro,
those long, lanky guys.
78-inch reach.
Yeah.
That is a 78-inch reach. That is not.
They are hard to deal with. Yeah.
Bro, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
For one, it's if you're a tall individual, you'll realize pretty quick that it's very hard to make your striking effective in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get good, Viking Warrior, you have so much, you have an advantage over people. The problem is when you're early on and you don't have the skill of the striking, then what happens is people are able to get past the reach pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Once you make it hard to get past the reach, it just makes it so hard to deal with. So I will say, like, Death Sentence definitely showed some major improvements on that. I posted this comment. I hope Wonder Boy makes it out to the yard someday. And the reason why I posted this was because I would like to see Wonder Boy train Death Sentence next.
Oh wow! Yeah.
Do you know what state do you know what state he lives in?
I'm not sure. No.
The same state as Death Sentence.
Really? Okay.
Yes, they're in the same state.
Wow.
I would like to see that. So Wonder Boy probably isn't watching this, or probably will watch it.
I'm sure he's watching it. What's up, Wonder Boy? What's up, buddy? Yeah, he's sitting back checking us out.
I'd like to get him back on the podcast. We had him on the podcast a year or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was great, but I'll reach out to him on Instagram, see if I can't get a response from him. But just content alone, having Death Sentence on his channel, maybe this can be like a reoccurring theme where different people just pick Death Sentence up and like teach him different things.
Well, he is on that track, to being a ninja. So he's gonna have to learn multiple disciplines for sure.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, man.
You can only get so far with Batman's teleporting techniques. You got to learn more.
Yeah, exactly. But well, he definitely. I will say this too. Having met, I know that there's a character, right? There's a character to some of these guys, and Death Sentence. He has his personality and whatnot. But to me personally, having met him and having met Wing C, they were both pretty respectful individual, man. I mean, they were pleasant. I appreciated talking with them. They seem like they enjoy the attention that they're getting. I know that sometimes they come off as a little chaotic and whatever, but to their fans, to the people that do support them, I do notice too that they are very giving to their fans. They're always willing to stop and take photos, talk and reach out to people. Yeah. So I do give them that credit that they are doing that, So there's all that,
unless you're the ops.
Unless you're the ops, which again, shout out to Death Sentence. I told him, my lady Red Fox, she's been running around the house saying F the ops to every minor inconvenience. I'm hearing F the ops. And I'm like, here we go.
I speak to Death Sentence pretty regularly, and I wouldn't ruin his, his showmanship kind of deal. Like, okay, look at it like this. You watch professional wrestling, you see, somebody on there that's a heel. They say all this stuff, they get into it with people, but deep down they're like, really, they could like be a really good person. Mm-hmm. Hey, Chef, thank you so much. What about QP versus Dad 3? Yes, but not anytime soon. That needs some time to
marinate.
It needs time, yeah. But anyway, if we're building up our personal image if we're trying to be viral, if we're trying to create a character, you have to understand, like, there's acting that goes into it. That doesn't necessarily mean you're this type of person or that type of person. I respect what they're doing as far as building up their following and everything.
And that's not to say, guys, that we're not condoning the call outs or the,
You're right.
the shit talking.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily hyping that up.
But
what
you
I'm
notice
saying is
the
who
death
they are
sentence,
as individuals.
Death sentence doesn't call anybody out, though. Did you notice that? Look,
I was gonna put that up, yeah.
The only time he goes after anybody is when somebody says something to him. He has a very large reaction to it. They're considered as op at that point. Not saying what people say, what he says back is acceptable, but at the same time, people like, you know, he's returning energy, maybe even more so than he was given. So we can't be too. Before I forget, Beethoven said this. Where was it? I had it posted here a minute ago. She said, Sensei Seth and Icy Mike.
What's up, Sensei Seth?
I talked to Sensei Seth today. So I honestly, like, I would like to take a trip over to the East Coast to hit up Mike, Seth, Wonder Boy, all these guys. I've talked to all of them. Icy Mike, former Street Beast fighter. He's got his own channel now. He does really great. Sensei Seth just did a reaction to some of our stuff. Talk to him.
We talked to McDojo. We talked to him as well.
We talked to McDojo.
Rob. Yeah, shout out Rob McDojo.
I've talked to what's his name? I can't think of his name. He does all the net shots.
I can't. I don't know what you're watching.
no, believe me, you would. You would know exactly.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
It just wasn't like on my mind at that particular second. Hold on.
Was it Amber Date guy?
No. You'll know exactly who I'm talking about. Master Ken.
Oh, Master Ken, dude, I love Master Ken.
What are you watching?
Yes.
What are you watching? I'm watching Master Ken.
Oh, there you go. Dojo. Come on, bro.
Yes. I've talked to him.
Yeah.
These are all people that
groin stomp. That's what. Yeah. It is. Groin stomp. Yeah.
Fight commentary breakdowns. That's another one. I talk to Jerry pretty regularly. Great guy. These are all collaborations and stuff that we could come up with and make some neat content. But did you by any chance have a top 5?
Did I have a top 5? Oh, like I said, it was so difficult for me to pick just 5 guys. I'm a tad bit biased sometimes when I pick this, just because I have a backstory with some of these competitors. Of course, I train with some of them. But I was also really excited to see, some of the highlighted matches, such as the Death Sentence versus Zach Cray match. I was looking forward to that one. I was looking forward to the Lights Out versus Gilchrist. I knew that one was going to be a banger just because these guys fight somewhat the same. And you know what? It was a banger, bro. They went in there and just threw hands at each other. So I was really looking forward to that one. Since I trained with the Punisher the day before, I was looking forward to his match against Peruvian. Of course, as I was looking forward to Red Fox, her match versus Beethoven.
Hey, by the way, I'm midway through editing that. So.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's the one I'm working on right now.
She's so excited for that match to come out. It was such a, it was. I think it was 6 months, 6 to 8 months since her last match. It's been a little while since we did our last match against Red Wolf. And so we've been putting in a lot of work since that match to get to this point. So she was really looking to get in there and display what she's been working on. And we happened to get a really awesome opponent in Beethoven, because not just for her skill set, but for how she is outside the ring as well. Like the ladies, they talk. I
Yeah.
love it that they're able to connect, and she's able to meet like-minded individuals, because as we know, being a female competitor in this sport, it's difficult. It's difficult to find training partners. It's
Mhm.
difficult to find, you know, people that even understand why you're doing it. So for someone to
Yeah.
come in here and befriend her, and they're able to do that, like I just love that. So big shout out to Beethoven for that one.
Check out Beethoven on Instagram, everybody.
Yes,
She's such a cool individual.
and such a
You
talent,
know,
bro.
it's
Such a
not
talent.
only a martial artist, but her violin skills are just like they're
Top
elite.
notch.
And,
Yeah.
oh,
And
geez.
and she does major concerts. So we're not just saying that to hype her up. Like, she's legitimate, guys. She goes and does concerts all over the place.
And
So
I would love to get her another matchup out of the scrapper, because honestly, like I would, even if she just came out to like be part of the event, like I feel like she probably got a lot out of being here and that she would like to come back, but
mhm.
it was really neat seeing her here and having her be part of, especially the 5-year anniversary.
Mhm. Oh yeah, she just commented. That's awesome.
Yep.
Heck yeah. Well, I can't wait, man. I mean, next year we'll see how it goes for sure, Beethoven. Love it.
So I did put together a top 5. So I have a list here of like 15, but
I
like,
got one more
oh,
Golden Hands versus
uh,
Tedon. I was
yep.
really impressed with how Tedon handled himself in that match. I trained with him a little bit previous to that, and I know he was a little bit nervous because of the experience, like just who Golden Hands is. But
Yeah.
Tedon went out there and he stood his ground. He made me really proud. So I'm
Shout out
really
to Tedon. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
bro.
he
That's a
knew
tough, tough
there was a
competitor.
skill difference, but
Mhm.
he went into that thing and he showed that he's got some courage, and I really respect that.
Heck yeah,
Um,
man. I appreciate it. And Slav and Canadian Idiot. That was another one. I got it.
that
Again, I
was
can't do
another one.
five.
Yeah.
You do your five. I got to step
All right,
back. You do your five.
I'm gonna do my runner up first. So
Yeah,
for
please do.
one, I've got a bunch of people. I got Joanna Wick versus Locke, Punisher versus
That was
Peruvian
a
Panther,
good one.
Tedon versus
Yep.
Golden Hands. These are all Coop Nasty versus Little Mac, Filthy Swole versus Bolo, Adam Bomb versus Loco, Soul versus Toad. These are all fights that I wrote down because I thought these are really good fights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm impressed, but I can only pick 5, so
I know, man. There's so many good ones, bro.
which I didn't even name any of the 5 that I picked. So the runner up, this is the number 6, so technically it's top 6. Mr. Gilchrist versus Lights Out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to spoil how that one ends because I know that I haven't put the fight out yet. That is a really good fight.
Mm-hmm.
That is a really good fight. Now I'm going to tell you guys my top 5, and I need you to know that these are not in order. I didn't put them in order because it was too much work. Would have made my head explode.
Right? I know it.
So, one, I've got Slav versus the Canadian Idiot. That fight
Whoa.
was really awesome to watch. For one, it was a number 1 contender spot, but for two, Canadian Idiot's kind of been going through people.
Mm-hmm.
He's very, very skilled, a very skilled wrestler.
Mm-hmm.
And Slav, we haven't seen a lot of matchups with him, but he impressed the shit out of me in that fight. His stand up, his jiu-jitsu, his ability to counter wrestling, like I gotta say that impressed me, and that's worthy of one of my top 5.
I think it was a solid overall MMA match. Like, we did see a lot of stand up, and we saw a lot of good jujitsu, great transitions on the ground. There was a couple times in that match, like I saw Canadian Idiot switch some things around on Slav that doesn't happen at the gym. So big ups to Canadian for being able to do that work on the ground, man. I mean, I love seeing groundwork in the yard, bro. Like, it's not always do we get it, but when we do, it's fantastic.
And I hope Canadian Idiot doesn't get discouraged with his loss. You know, like
No way. No
we're
way. That
here
was
to
a tough
kind
one.
of find out where we're at, what we need to improve on, and all that.
Mhm.
He is a phenomenal fighter.
I agree.
I think he has a very bright future, and
Mhm.
I think that he has a very, great place out here at the scrapyard as well.
Yeah, big fan of Canadian Idiots, bro. Come back. Keep coming, showing up, guys. Keep showing up.
All right, my next one on the top 5, again in no order, Sano versus Tav.
That was a good one too.
Wow.
Banger, big boy banger right there.
So I set this one up. I said I knew Tav was signed up. I'm like, man, this guy's freaking good. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it. I gotta find a guy for him. Sano signed up. I said, hey, look, I got a heavyweight.
Yep.
This guy's good. He's like, I'll take it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So shout out to Sano. He held his own. He landed some freaking powerful shots. It was a good fight. But Tav, wow.
Yeah. Dude, in just the last, like, I want to say 3 times I've seen Tav compete, he's improved significantly every match. He's even looking trim, bro. Like, he trimmed out. His punches are so clean. He's doing a lot of good head movement. His footwork's looking solid. And, Sano, we know it from when he got that big highlight reel from knocking out Kaiju. Like, Sano hits like a mad, like a bus, bro. He hits hard. He's a solid dude. So
I want to say he knocked out more than one person. I think he had another knockout too.
Cool.
And
yeah,
Tav, like that guy for his record does not justify what his skill level is. Like he's only fought the top people out here. I would like to see him fight a rematch versus El Guanaco next, to be honest, for the heavyweight boxing title.
Yeah. And I talked to El Guanaco, man. He's getting ready for it, to be honest. I think he feels a little bit of that too, where he's noticing Tav. So yeah, he was impressed by his performance this past weekend.
I put a star next to this one. It's not one of my top 5, but Sanj versus Killatrix. Sanj,
good one.
That way that you got up in the 3rd round off the ground, I'm gonna make a highlight out of that. That was impressive. It was like a spinning tornado, something. I don't know. All right. Next up, Wing C versus the Chef. Now, the only complaint about this fight is the knee. And I really, truly believe if that knee didn't happen, the fight would have went on a lot longer. Because I saw a definite, like, yes, Wing C was putting the pressure on. Chef was doing a great job of slipping, countering. He was backed up against the cage. But I really feel like that knee had an effect on him. So, and it's amateur fights, guys. We don't allow knees to the face. It was an accidental knee. I don't pin that on Wing C at all. He threw a knee. Chef went low. It happens.
Yeah, and from my understanding, right, when it comes to the knee to the head, over on the East Coast, they allow that. Isn't that correct? No, they don't allow the knees to the head and the MMA over there?
No, they allow elbows, but they don't allow knees to the head.
Knees. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, anyway, it wasn't legal. It did, I think, cause a little disturbance in the flow of the match. And I definitely saw some, like when he would get hit there, I could see like, okay, that's still an issue. But shout out to the Chef. One thing I'll say about the Chef, no matter what, this guy will take any fight. Like he doesn't care. This is why records don't matter out here too much, guys. Like he's willing to fight anybody, and it's just making him a better fighter. People that try to protect their records out at a backyard fight, like why? Why are you trying to like protect your record when it doesn't matter? If your goal is to go pro someday, none of this is going to matter.
Exactly, guys. Get the experience, right? We're
So
out here to gain experience. Get the experience, fellas.
Chef's got more courage than anybody, just about anybody out in the yard. He'll take fights that other people will be like, "Oh, I'm not trained up. I'm not ready," that kind of thing. So, yeah. So, but Wing C, man, I gotta say, Wing C, bro, you are phenomenal. The way that you mix up your different attacks, like, you're a phenomenal fighter. I want to see you go pro someday. I do. And I think you'll be a successful pro. But listen to what Mighty Mouse said with the whole, listen to that.
Listen to that, buddy. Yeah.
There's a whole time and a place for emoting during fights. Don't do it right next to your opponent.
And those are lessons that you got to learn, and I think Wing C, because he's had success in it, I think he's going to do it until he probably learns that lesson. But, that's just part of his style too, guys. And it's unorthodox, it throws people off, and it's something that he developed. So it doesn't take away from his skill set at all.
If Wing C makes it into the UFC someday, he's going to be Conor McGregor level as far as
notoriety and showmanship. Yes.
It isn't even like a question. People want this guy on their platform. They want him on their amateur fights because
he's such an entertaining character with skill. And he has that other factor. He has skill. And most time you get a character or you get somebody with skill. And it's very rare that you get both. Like you said, Conor McGregor, he's an individual that developed both. And look at where he's at. There's few guys that have that talent. And I do appreciate how Wing C, he has that ability, but he doesn't like talk shit really. Like he doesn't swear. He doesn't like cuss people out or anything like that. Like he's actually really kind of like a Chael Sonnen, like clever in what he's saying. So I do appreciate that about him.
Yeah, 100%. The chef, geez, man.
I know. I'm gonna have to start charging him more for private lessons.
All right, next one up. I know I'm going slow through these, but Baylor BBC versus Austin. Amazing Austin Barnes. Let's not sugarcoat.
Yeah.
It is the amazing Austin Barnes. He's a great fighter.
Yeah.
Baylor,
really solid dude too.
Baylor actually was coming off a couple losses. And again, when you go outside your comfort zone, when you go outside the style of fighting that you normally fight in, I'm not going to dock you for that. You take a couple losses. Yeah, you fought QP. You lost a boxing match. Fought another guy,
the champion.
Loco. You lost a boxing match. I get that. It's making you a better fighter, but I'm not going to take that away from you and not give you a title defense over it. Baylor BBC's wrestling is top notch. And
to add to your point, because he took some of those boxing matches, look at how well his boxing was in this MMA match.
Look how it ended.
Look at how it ended. Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he really isolated that striking and then was able to utilize that when it came to the MMA. So sometimes you got to do that, guys. You got to isolate some of your training and not always fight to your strengths, but put yourself in position so that you're having to really work at your weaknesses.
I remember when Frank Mir and BJ Penn did boxing clinics on some of their matches, and you could clearly see when they would go back and do their fight after their boxing, it's like you can obviously tell that he has been training his boxing for the last couple months. So it does show. When you look at somebody that's primarily a wrestler and you're wrestling them, and then all of a sudden the punch comes and boom, it happens. I mean, that just shows. I mean, boxing, you shouldn't not do boxing. I believe that no matter what type of martial arts you do, you should learn boxing.
Yeah, you want to be a well-rounded individual when it comes to combat sports, guys. And, boxing, Muay Thai, our hands are the most important thing we use when it comes to fighting. It's going to be your hands. So those need to get
It's
right,
your hands are your
that
quickest.
right there.
They're the quickest thing that you can put from
Mhm.
point A to point B.
Mhm.
Yes, obviously your wrestling, obviously your
All that's
jiu-jitsu,
a factor,
kicking,
yes.
it's all a factor. But if you're here, the
Mhm.
quickest thing that you can do to land on the button is to throw a punch.
Yeah.
So don't neglect your boxing training.
Yeah. Plus, your fight starts on your feet, so it starts like that. So get proficient at that stand up game as you're developing your ground game too. So, big shout out, like I said, to Baylor for doing that. He's really filling those holes and becoming a well rounded individual when it comes to the MMA. So,
And you know what, Austin?
congratulations.
Austin is really a complete MMA fighter as well.
Yes, he is.
I have to say, like, he got caught, but
Which happens. Yep.
yep. The last fight that I'm going to speak on in my top 5 is, maybe it's a little bit because I know both these guys, sparred both these guys. It was a rematch. It was QP versus Dad.
Mm-hmm.
This one really showed, I think what got it was, and I guess I don't really want to spoil anything.
Yeah, that's a tough one to talk about.
It is. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it too much.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say there was, at the end, there was some heart. And like, you put, that's what I think won the fight, is heart.
I would say so. Yeah.
I think that you make the conscious decision, like, fuck it, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna keep going.
That's what winning comes down to. Who's willing to sacrifice the most in that time period, man. I mean, and again, we don't want to say who the winners were or anything like that, because I really want people to watch the video. But yeah, to the winner of that match, yeah, man, you showed so much heart. I'm really proud of you. I think that they both, as competitors, have come a long way, man. And it's always a privilege to watch these two compete against each other, because they both go in there with the right, like you said, with a lot of heart. I think both of these competitors show that that determination to win, and also they have that determination to constantly get better. And we're seeing that in their matches. So it was that one right there really did. It holds a special place for me for sure. It's a great match.
I definitely think that in the future there needs to be a third matchup between them, but it needs to wait a little while. I want to make sure these guys are kind of, I wouldn't say different fighters, but I want to see a substantial change in both of them before I just put them back together and fight.
Yeah, and that makes them both better. Honestly,
it does. Yeah.
Let's see what you guys have been working on, then come together later on.
Because I really do feel like either of these fighters could win another rematch. So, how many knockouts did we have? Honestly, like, I don't know, because I know that knockouts are something that the fans want to see, but me personally,
it's always a little rough. Yeah.
I look at, like, if you look at the fights that I mentioned for my top 5, there might have been a knockout, 1 or 2 in there. I didn't pick them because of the knockout. I picked them because I thought these were highly competitive, great matches. I just don't look at, like, I'm not out for the same thing everybody else is. Yeah, I'm just going to say that. Yes, Shinigami versus Turkish Assassin will come out, Ali.
Soon. And there were a few knockouts, guys, for those of you that asked. There were a few that day. But yeah, like you said, it's not necessarily our goal though to have the competitors compete until someone drops. Again, big shout out to the referees, Viking Warrior, Anomaly, and Coach P.
It was mainly, so Coach P did the majority of the reffing. Anomaly did a lot of reffing. Viking was there for a little bit when he, towards the beginning. I had other people that said they were going to show up as referees but didn't show up. That's actually one of my pet peeves is people that say they're going to do something and don't do something.
Yeah.
It sucks. I had the issue with some fighters, either showing up and leaving, not showing up, whatever. It's frustrating, and I understand, that's an amateur fighting thing. It happens, even pro fighting.
Yeah. Yeah. So for them to, like I said, for them to be there and protect the fighters and volunteer their time to do that, just want to give them a quick shout out for that, because I think you guys did overall. I feel like the competitors were well taken care of, not just by the rest, but yeah, again by the medical staff. They made sure everybody was okay to drive home afterwards, and for those guys that
Geez.
needed to get some medical attention, they make sure that they fill out the paperwork, and they have to get that medically cleared before they're able to come back. And I think that that's important as well, guys. Like I said, we're not encouraging guys to come out here and get brain damage. Okay. We want guys to come out here and train and help build them up and give them some experience. But I'm thankful for that, honestly. So
yeah. Yeah, the med staff is something that I'm just gonna say I don't think anybody else has. To be honest, like I've never seen a med staff anywhere else.
Not in no backyard, not in a backyard organization, that's for sure.
Street Beefs is in the scrapyard are the only ones I've ever seen like any sort of medical staff at. So, just know, I know people think of it as like, oh man, I got to get it checked out. I got to check out before and after. You have no idea like how good this is to have for you guys, for us, just to be more legitimate. When people like Mighty Mouse come out and they see a medical staff, like I just don't think that he was like really expecting that. And to see the level of professionalism, the way that we treat each other, bro, like this whole thing is we're trying to keep put together as well as possible. And I think we're doing just an awesome job.
Yeah. And thank you again to the competitors for not overloading Mighty Mouse. I know that it was tough sometimes to not want to go up and talk to him and get the pictures with them and all that stuff. But honestly, I feel like our competitors that were there were really respectful. They gave him his distance. They didn't like crowd him all the time. Like he was able to walk around freely, and that's how we get him back, guys.
He climbed up on top of the shipping container. Like, that shows a level of comfort. By the way, stay off the shipping container.
Yeah, you're not supposed to be up there, guys. Come on. Crazy.
The level of comfort that he showed, even bringing his father out, like that just showed me that he was really comfortable with what we had out here. He asked me like if he could come out again. Like, man, that's just, it really means a lot to me that we're doing good enough by his standards that he would bring himself back out here. And you guys, you also presented yourself in a professional way that people, like I said, people didn't, or like Nate said, you guys didn't overwhelm him and all that.
Yeah. And that's great, guys. Like I said, that's how we get them back out here. So hell yeah. You want to do a couple shout outs before we get going?
I do. I think we've covered just about everything.
I think so too, man. That was a crazy, amazing event. So
right. By the way, August 23rd is our next event, people. I would encourage you to sign up, show up, get matched up, fight. I'm probably not going to do too much pre-matching on this event, to be honest. Like, we're just going to kind of roll with it.
Yeah.
But it's up. We only have so many summer months, so I see there's some bickering in the comments. Guys, come on.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
What are we doing? What did we just talk about?
Knock it off, guys. We're all in the same community. I get it. If you want to fight somebody, message me. I'll see if I can make the matchup. But come on.
Figure it out.
Shout outs. Shout out Mandy Bear, puts up with all my bullshit. Puts up with all my fucking mood swings and shit. Shout out to the community the staff. Chris Darth, I want to shout him out. He's
Yeah,
been coming out to
Chris.
the scrapyard a couple last few months and really been a
Kind of
pillar
man
of like
organization, I would say. He's really helping keep the flow going. And
yes.
that's important, guys, in these events because everybody's so busy. It's nice to have somebody there that's helping get fighters organized, keep the constant flow so that we're not there all day. Like we have a lot of fights to get through.
He's really found, I feel like, a good place in what we do out here. So yeah, shout out Chris. Everybody else on the staff, that comes out, Coach P, Anomaly, Viking Warrior, everybody, matchmaking, you Nate, Justine, Lisa, security, Mel J, everybody that helps out. Sorry if I forgot anybody. Try to get through this quick. You guys are awesome. Shout out to the fighters that come out, that sign up. You guys are awesome. And shout out to the fans that support what we do, not the undercover haters that are just waiting for us to screw up. Because there's a list of them. There's people that are just watching. I'm pretty sure there's people right now that are watching us just hoping that we fuck something up so they can just point and laugh. But guess what? We're here for a long time. So you can either drop that shit and just be civil, be nice, get on board with it, be part of it, or you can just
or whatever. Yeah. One thing about the haters, they're gonna start coming out when you're doing things right, bro. And that's kind of what it is. Like I said, it's that yin and yang. No matter how much positive we're doing out there, there's always going to be a little bit of negativity, and that just comes with it. So keep watching, guys, because I don't see a downfall happening. Like we're on the up, okay, and this is only getting bigger and bigger every year. So every event,
that documentary drops.
The sky's the limit here. So keep watching.
The documentary dropping. I think some people might misunderstand. It's not something that might happen. It is going to happen. It's as sure as anything. They've been out here like 5 times. They've been to Virginia with us. Like it's coming out. I speak to our documentary crew, probably weekly. So
it's coming.
It's coming.
Heck yeah.
Thanks everybody that was part of it, supported it. Heck Nate, who would you like to shout out, Nate?
Oh, let's see here. I got first big shout out to the Reptilian Top Team for all your efforts leading up to the event. I'm proud of every one of you that competed. I think I had 9 competitors in the event. So big shout out to you guys. As always, a big shout out to my #1 fan, Red Fox. She has a podcast that she's going to be working on here soon. So keep your eyes open for that, guys. I'll have more information later on. Let's see. Some things to watch out for. September 13th, NWC in Vancouver. I'll be cornering the Horn from the Scrapyard. He's coming to compete in Vancouver. So he'll be there. I also may be cornering Bulldog, who's also a Scrapyard competitor. So if you guys are in the Vancouver area and you'd like to go see these 2 Scrapyard competitors compete at an amateur event, you guys are welcome to check that out. It's September 13th. I also want to do a shout out to Sifu Mike Mather on getting his 8th degree. He's now a grandmaster.
Wow.
I went to his seminar. They had a seminar yesterday that I went over to in Rainier. So I went and checked that out. That was really awesome. I got to do some, I don't know if you've ever done any like Screama stick training, but I got to do a little bit of that. That was new for me. So that was really fun to do. So thank you for inviting me to that. And real quick, guys, if you guys could add me on Instagram, it's going to be at FAWB, FAWB _podcast. And yeah, I'm just trying to grow that Instagram. And yeah, man, that's pretty much what I got for the shout outs. If you guys are in the Vancouver, Washington area, hit me up and we can get some training in over at Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu. And yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to what we have in the future. I know we plan to do these podcasts, a couple times a month leading up to the events. And yeah. That's pretty much all I got. Yeah.
I'm just trying to find something right now really quick.
Heck
I
yeah.
see a comment in the comment section. I just want to make sure that we didn't screw something up.
Oh no.
If let me just I'm just watching this really quick video really quick.
Yeah. What else? Oh, real quick, guys, too. Also, I'm gonna mention that promo code one more time for the HKUSA. It's the SBSY20, and that's gonna get you 20% off on all your HKA_USA products. So make sure you guys are putting in that promo code if you're purchasing anything from that.
SBSY 20% off. You want to put your damn face? You want to put my face on your gloves?
Anything.
Punch me in the face with my own face on your gloves? I mean, you can
That'd be pretty epic.
It would be pretty epic.
Oh man.
All right. I think we got a pretty good show in the books.
I think so, boss man.
It was great going over the anniversary event. And you know what? The August 23rd event coming up soon. Make sure you're signed up. Might be the last good weather month. We still got a few good months coming up here. We got that one. We got September, which is generally pretty nice. Then we got our October event, which is always our dress up thing. Yeah. And then it's the rain, but we still move on. So
yeah, definitely. Well, guys, I appreciate everybody tuning in with us tonight. I love thank you, Fire Chicken, for having me on. I always appreciate that. I appreciate you and Mandy Bear opening up the scrapyard to us. It was an amazing event, bro. I'm telling you, it's one of those things where I feel like a lot of these competitors are probably going to remember this for the rest of their lives, because it's not too often that you get to meet, again, a legend like Mighty Mouse. So
yes,
it's one of those staple points, guys.
Believe me, there's going to be more, and I am not going to tell anybody who's coming out, because I'm not doing that again. With the dropouts that we had on the anniversary event, I'm not advertising any of these celebrities. If they show up and you're here, hey, you know what? Yes, I'm going to torture your Canadian lawn chair that you've left out here the last two events. I'm putting an American flag on it, just so you know.
That's what we should do, definitely, or burn it. One of the two. Yeah, probably not.
I'll put an American flag on it.
That's better. That's way better.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all. Until the next one. Peace out, everybody.
Later, guys.